Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, I've now done videos dissecting every aspect that I could of this trailer. I've even talked about it in the perspective of them being very secretive now and, saving a lot for the next reveal, probably tied to the next Nintendo console, right? But there's something that I don't think I've seen anyone talk about, and I get it. I get it because what you're seeing right here, this right here is something that many Metroid fans did not want. Understand this. All of this Metroid Prime 3 corruption looking action, space pirates versus, Federation troopers, scientists running around trying to get things away from the pirates. Yeah, a lot of Metroid fans didn't want this. A lot of Metroid fans just want the same thing all the time, which is Samus lose her ability all by herself, escape sequence at the end, maybe a Ridley in there, maybe a Crate in there, throw in maybe some other brain if you want, and call it a day. That's what a lot of Metroid fans would like ad nauseum, over and over and over. Where me personally, like all my Nintendo IP, I like to see them grow. I like to see them go beyond what we know to be, the IP of the IP. Surprise me. Make Mario throw his hat and start capturing, characters like if he's Kirby. Surprise me. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. Going from top down Zelda to 3D Zelda to open air Zelda. I appreciate that. So when Prime 3 took what they already laid the foundation for with Prime 2, remember Prime 2 when the end came out and then they attacked all the Federation? It was like a horror movie, and then you was fighting zombie Federation troopers. Like, I was like, yo, Metroid is so good right now. Oh my God. And then 3 just took that and just ran with it even more, made it far more cinematic. You had your ship, you had all these cool abilities, you was planet hopping, you was hopping around specific planets, your ship was helping you do things. It was awesome. And then you had these other hunters around. Oh, the other hunters around. There was a lot of them in Prime 3. The last game before this one. Well, unless you count Federation Force, which you should, because it is a Prime game. And it plays right into this game. But Prime 3 had hunters in it. Silex wasn't in it in, you know, body. But he, made a little appearance in his ship, chased Samus. And obviously the events of Federation Force happened. Silex got some Metroids, as you can see here. And that's all awesome stuff. All great stuff. Which brings us now to Beyond. And when you get to Beyond, you got to ask yourself, this guy right here, Silex. Hold on. Let's let the green light. All right, bam. Silex. Epic entrance right here in the trailer. Been teased for years by producer of the series, Tanabe. And I can't help but think about how I always like my series to go beyond, to grow. I can't help but think of how I've loved all the directions the Metroid series has gone, even Dread. Not even Dread, even Other M. Because without Other M, I feel like we never would have got to Dread. You know what I'm saying? So even Other M, which I have my issues with, I still played it multiple times because I'm a diehard Metroid fan, right? I loved all the directions that the series has gone in, like legitimately. Every Federation Force moment, Metroid pinball moment, I was like, that's awesome. Down to the Mii costumes in Mario Kart 8, the Samus Mii costume. Love wearing that. Like, love Metroid through and through. There's this one Metroid game though where Silex appeared in, and I just gotta say, I bought a whole console specifically for that game with this guy in it. The beginning of him. You understand? Silex. That game was a multiplayer focused Metroid game. Metroid Prime 2, which I love. And look, even the multiplayer in that, which was shallow, was still fun. If you ever got, 3 friends together to play with you, it was fun. And it just happened to be something that wasn't good enough though, because online was in its beginning phases on console. Halo was a thing already. So bringing this shallower than Perfect Dark multiplayer to the series, it just wasn't the thing. You know what I'm saying? At the time. But that DS purchase, just for Metroid First Hunt, just for Metroid First Hunt, yeah, I would say that was 100% worth it because Metroid Hunters was great. The single player was fine. It was fun. It was cool to see that kind of graphics on the handheld. It was cool. And it was more of an actiony game, which was fine. But that multiplayer was so unique, creative. You had your different abilities. It was a hero shooter, if you really think about it. That's what it was. The heroes were hunters. And I just sit here and think about Silex being in this game now. Federation Force, again, the last game that he was in there in body and spirit, not just in the ship. Federation Force was also a multiplayer focused game, right? Nintendo's launching new hardware. New hardware. They have a service called Nintendo Switch Online that's going to need incentives for you to sign up. And I get it. Metroid fans want their Metroid to be one thing and one thing only. The idea of Metroid going beyond Samus by herself bothers some people. The idea of multiplayer, for the fans who like the Prime 3 corruption stuff like I do, the idea of multiplayer, though, puts fear in their heart. And then there's the Metroid fans like me who loved Hunters and actually played Hunters all the time and used the voice chat in Hunters at a time when Nintendo, would go on, over a decade without doing voice chat right. That game did it right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it legitimately did it right. And I feel like if ever to do a multiplayer mode, and I'm not saying make this a thing where Retro got to now be a service company feeding this, multiplayer mode. No, I mean 10 arenas, 10 arenas, about a dozen hunters, new, returning, you know what I'm saying? And promise like one DLC, update for the game. And like legit, like, oh yeah, we're gonna do a story DLC and you get 5 multiplayer maps and 3 new hunters. And that's it. That's it for the multiplayer. And then they're moving on to the next Metroid game. And that's something that we could just play online all the time, like Quake or Unreal Tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like arena shooters, like some like basically it don't got to be supported all the time. Like if it's goddamn Overwatch or something like that. But imagine the 3, like the season pass of 3 hunters that you would get would be like, oh look, one of them is a returning and it's Dark Samus, so you get Metroid Prime in the actual Metroid Prime game. You know what I mean? Like Dark Samus comes back like as a hunter in the game, and obviously every hunter would have their own. It's a hero shooter, so Samus, her arm cannon is what it is, like the machine gun of the game. Then you'll have different ones, like you had what was the dude, the red one was the sniper. You know what I'm saying? Like there was, everybody had their different abilities. Everybody had their version of the morph ball. I would still do that so that the arenas can have like little set pieces where maybe really breaks through one. And I'm base them all on different locations from the Prime series. So a Torres Bog, a Brio, a Skytown Elysium, and have those gimmicks like Skytown where you using the rails and getting from one area of the arena to the other. Have areas, nook and crannies where you go in as a morph ball or your morph ability, whatever character you are, whichever hunter you choose. And then you're in there, you see somebody else in there trying to get through, and you have a little morph ball battle there with your bombs. And maybe they collect it because you would have collectibles scattered around, probably like a screw attack over there, and a power bomb over there. Maybe they got the power bomb while you're in, that little, basically little secret passway to get to let's say a higher ground or something. Then y'all there spider balling up the walls, but y'all having a battle, so that person has a power bomb, uses it, destroys you. You're like, damn, got me. You know what I mean? But now you know where they at. And maybe there's like you'll respawn, and then there's like a jump pad, and you could get up there quicker. Not just through the secret way with the morphing ability, using the morph ball. Like there's so much that they could do with the multiplayer and not make it some big thing that it has to be. Oh, it has to be Fortnite. It has to. No, it's just a fun multiplayer game that you have. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm not saying make it free, but like F-Zero 99. Like I saw F-Zero 99. Now you're gonna have like your rivals. That was actually a new story this week that I forgot to mention on this episode was that you have your different rivals coming in, new modes, multiplayer modes, achievements and stuff like that. So that's cool. Like Nintendo wants to have incentive for people to sign up to the online. So I'm like, yeah, what better game than Metroid to make an arena shooter with? A hero arena shooter could work wonders for this series. Like wonders to bring people in. Maybe there'll be people come in and be like, yeah, I don't even care for the single player. I know blasphemy, because to us Metroid fans, like, bro, this is like creme de la creme. This is the best you can get in all of gaming. This is it right here. Games are literally designed based off of this woman's games. Like, are you kidding me? But whatever, you do you. I'll find you on the battlefield of, whatever damn level you on, because they'll have multiple different levels, man, which will be super cool. Like Metroid has so many cool locations. You could do like different costumes if you wanted to, so you could bring in the. I just hope they have like, oh, you got a save file for Dread. You could wear the Dread costume through Metroid Primes for full adventure, because you could do stuff like that with Metroid Prime One. Like I played Metroid Prime One as Fusion Samus all the time back in the day, or Zero Suit, because if you had the game save file, and I think you needed what was it, your Game Boy player or whatever the case may be, and then you could use it. I forgot how you went about that, but anyway, the point is that they had different costumes and things like that, and I would expect no less from Nintendo in the era where you can dress up Mario as anything you want in his latest adventure. And same thing with Link. So I could see that being a thing for Samus. Retro always likes doing fun customization stuff. I wouldn't be surprised they bring back the stamps and everything for your shit, and base it around what save files you have and things like that. I love that when they did that with Prime 3 on the Wii. But yeah, a multiplayer mode, come on now, y'all. Like, I know, it's blasphemy. Like, oh my God, asking for multiplayer. Like, let them just focus on the single player. And they could. They could. They've hired a lot of people, and it's been a lot of years. How they haven't locked the single player? It's pretty much done. And then it was, we got time, actual time, and they don't got to be like a rushed multiplayer thing, but we can make a little fun multiplayer thing that people would want to come back to, that we think we would keep Metroid fans engaged with throughout the existence of Prime 4, leading to the eventual, Metroid Prime 5. Like, I would love to see. And like I said, like Metroid, the series just lends itself to creative ideas. Like I mentioned, jump pads like in Quake, and like old arena shooters. But could you imagine getting like the screw attack and like breaking the wall and accessing new area, or speed boots and things like that, and it's or running right through like three people with your speed boots, like cool stuff like that could really separate this from any other shooter out there. And let's say that little thing ends up blowing up and it has a lot of people playing it, to the point where maybe Nintendo's like, you know what, more funding for retro. Let's have a dedicated team, just support that thing. And maybe they even take it and be like, yeah, you know what, it's now free for Switch Online members, even if it's only expansion pack members. Like, that could be really cool. Like, I really thought about this, like the abilities that you could pick up around the level. Imagine the flash shit from Dread. Like, Dread has some epic abilities in it, you know what I'm saying? So imagine having the flash shit from Dread. That would be awesome. Like, there's like a lot of things that they could do to keep the multiplayer actually engaging. Like, oh yeah, we just threw in another ability in there or something. Or even different little modes. Like, oh yeah, now there's a hardcore mode, where you die quick. It takes less damage to defeat your opponents and stuff like that. They can do things like that. Or even they could make fun modes where it's like, oh, capture the flag, but it'll be something like capture the energy tank and bring it back to your base. And once you fill up enough, energy tanks on your base, like, it'll probably be just a little four things on your HUD that all your teammates see. Once y'all, get the flag back, y'all win. Like, regular capture the flag, capture the base, all that stuff. They could do stuff like that. Like, Hunters did a lot of cool things. So I feel like they can pull from Hunters, from arena shooters, from, Overwatch and stuff like that. Like, why not? You know what I mean? And then you never know. One of the Hunters could become so popular that it leads to a spin-off that takes Metroid as an IP away from Samus' saga. Oh my God, I know blasphemy, but You never know. What if they make a brand new Hunter in there and everybody loves it, loves the character, loves the way it played, loves its morph ball ability, and then they're like, yeah, you know what? That character's getting its own spin-off game. Like, who would have ever thought it? Every Metroid spin-off game, for the most part, been, like, oh, we're gonna just do a spin-off genre. Oh, pinball here, Hunter is there. You know what I'm saying? The closest you ever got to it was Federation Force, which I talked about for years, actually, a 4-player co-op. You know, Federation based Metroid game, and then it happened. It just happened on hardware I think it should have not had happened on. It should have happened honestly on the Wii U, but hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I just see it like that could be a huge reason also for people to subscribe to the service. And it'll just be fun, man. I love Metroid, so for me, I'm all into seeing the series grow, seeing new opportunities for the series. And I think multiplayer is a super popular thing. And now it's so popular that people fear monger multiplayer. Like, oh, you shouldn't even bother because you're not going to be able to compete with Fortnite or Call of Duty or you name it. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like all those games at one point, they were being touted as, or there was things being touted at the time like, oh, this thing is going to come and be a Halo killer. And nothing worked at the time. But little did you know that, oh yeah, Call of Duty was the thing, and then it became the thing that just was bigger than Halo. You know what I'm saying? Like on consoles, it happens. You never know. So that can be you. If you don't try, you'll never know. So I feel like, yeah, we need a more cool, creative online things. Like you never could have guessed Splatoon would have become what it's become, but it's massive. You know what I'm saying? And it's huge. And it's like, yeah, I get it. Nintendo fans will say, oh yeah, oh they don't got to do that. They got Splatoon, and it's like, they can have more than one. So because they have Splatoon, Mario Kart shouldn't have online. Because they got Splatoon, Smash Brothers shouldn't have online. Like, nah, they should. If Luigi's Mansion could get an online little Samo that actually got a little bit of support, me asking for Metroid to get an online mode, which it makes way more sense for this IP than goddamn Luigi's Mansion. And y'all know I love my Mario brothers; those are my guys. But it's like, come on, Luigi got mad multiplayer games already. Luigi's Mansion didn't need a multiplayer game within it. Now, co-op Luigi's Mansion would be fun. Like, yo, you upstairs, I'm downstairs. Hey, push the switch, turn the lights on down here. Cool, did that. Like it's freezing up here and you losing health, and then the one downstairs is like, yeah, hold on, let me turn on the heat. You know what I'm saying? Then it makes it hotter there. Yeah, you could do It Takes Two style stuff. Absolutely. But they did a full blown multiplayer versus mode and everything. Like, yeah, so please, excuse me if me asking for Prime 4 to have multiplayer, in my opinion, isn't a big ask and isn't some, death blow to the series if they do multiplayer. Like, they did it with 2, and oh, it wasn't all that. So what? But guess what? Prime 2 is still one of the best games ever. An absolute masterpiece. And that didn't take away nothing from that actual single player, which was incredible and still houses some of the best boss battles in the entire Metroid series. Yes, even including the 2D series. I'm talking when I say series, goddamn it, I mean all of it, the whole series. Like, come on now. I'm with it, man. I get it. A lot of people don't like change for their series. I'm open to it. Hopefully, y'all will be too. Let me know in the comments how you feel. You probably gonna be like, you know what? Screw that. I don't want it. Understandable. You have, the right to your opinion. Mine is just, I would love to have more Metroid to play when I'm done with the actual single player. I would love to be able to go, all right, yo, I'm jumping online. Let's go. And I would love to find a hunter who is like, yeah, that's my main. I don't even play with Samus like that or with Silex. So when any of the classic hunters, like, nah, I play with this new character, that new character, like, yeah, it would be fun to see even characters like introduced to the series, like, oh yeah, this hunter, and have little biographies, saying a little something of where this hunter comes from this sector of the galaxy and da da da. Good enough, because those little things can lead to a full blown video game experience IP that can become, you never know, that thing could become bigger than even Samus, and Metroid fans will be mad, and I'll be like, bro, it's on Metroid, it's on in the family, we won. We won. Like, look, man, I'm all for it. I don't know about y'all, but I'm all for it, like I said, but I don't want to keep going in circles now. So yeah, that's gonna do it. Let me know what you think.